All right, thanks you guys so much for joining us. It is February 18th, and this is the Sunday of President's Day, right? So it's actually a holiday weekend. So thank you guys for joining us. And this is a little bit of a special call because most of us on the call, not all of us, but many of us who are on tonight just returned from an incredible weekend in Memphis, Tennessee. And so we've got some people on who are a little bit newer. I know Jackie just joined us, just joined our team and our mission. What has it even been, a couple weeks? She's pretty new. So really events are huge. You learned last week when Jen and Rhonda and Christy shared about events, how important they are. And they were talking a lot about the smaller type of events, but this past weekend we were able to all come together, not all of us, but many of us come together in Memphis, Tennessee for a much larger event that was just absolutely incredible. So we called it the Cherry Bomb Retreat. So those of you who don't know, which is some of you, so I'm your national marketing director, but I work really closely with 4 other super amazing women who are also national marketing directors. None of them are related to me in the business at all. We're all on completely different teams with completely different uplines, and we didn't even know each other 14 months ago. But we met and we clicked, and we decided that we wanted to take our businesses to the next level together. And so for about the last 13 months, we've been working together to really pour into our teams and allow our teams to have the benefits of different perspectives, because you guys get me all the time, but I don't have all of the same skills as these other wonderful national marketing directors, and they have so many different skills that you guys all can benefit from, and they have experiences that you can benefit from. So I absolutely love the fact that we're able to work together, and you guys don't only get me, but you get 4 other national marketing directors to learn from and who are invested in helping you grow your business as well. So that's what this weekend was. It took a lot of planning on our parts, but it was so incredibly worth it. I think that everybody who went to the Cherry Bomb Retreat will agree that this was an incredible weekend. And I, for one, just feel incredibly filled up and excited for my future, and just really inspired by what I heard and what I learned and what I saw this weekend. So without any further ado, I would love to just have the folks who were able to attend kind of share their biggest takeaway. And I'll go ahead and start with you, Jenny, if you want to unmute yourself. And then we'll kind of go around and you guys, the rest of you, can share.
Yay! Oh my goodness. I literally just walked in the door and I was so excited. Went to the bathroom, which I know all of you guys want to know that I went to the bathroom. So I just put, in case you were stressed out and you were worried. So excited. I wish that you all could have been there. You experience them like that, and then you come back, and I said to, we had 5 of us in the car driving back, and I said really quickly, I said, there are times where I feel really bad. I feel guilty for other people out there that might not even feel a tenth of the way that we feel. And, I thanked my team and I just said, thank you for being a part of my life, because I can't imagine you not being a part of my life. Like, it's a huge family, and it's how it felt. So, my biggest aha is that I've been in this business for 10 years. And when I say that, that means that I haven't been in the business intentionally for 10 years. I've been around for 10 years, and I'm really good with that, in the sense of where I was and what's happened and where I am now. And my point about saying the time is that, some people might think, God, 10 years, you probably have lots of things down pat. You've got your story down pat and all that. And here's the thing. So this weekend, the most usable for me, not at all the most emotional, the most usable thing that I picked up was advice from another NMD. We had groups where we worked on our story, and the gist of it was to net it down and make it super simple. Literally just take your story, even if you're brand new, and let's say you haven't even gotten your Juice Plus yet. You decided to join our mission, and at the same time, right? And you're waiting on your product, or you're like me and you've had an experience, your family has had it. Just take your emotions about what you felt and how you were before Juice Plus. Okay, so if you're brand new, you can just say, I'm so excited, or I'm so excited about what it's going to do for me, et cetera. So the emotions about what you did before you put it in your body, and then the emotions. Okay, and I'll tell you the difference after. So I'll give you an example. My story, a big piece of it was my son Reed and nebulizer and all of this, and that's that definitely has some emotion to it. But I got coached to basically say that my son was had the beginning of his life, started the beginning of his life, and for the first couple of years after that, I had a debilitating illness, and so it gives you an idea of that's what that. And so I didn't say even asthma, nebulizer. I'm saying that he struggled from a debilitating illness, and A, B, C, D, a few more things, and then I can say, and now, he is, a select soccer player. He's so healthy. He has so much energy. It's crazy. I can barely even keep up with him. He's 14 years old. So, that's just Reed. And I have the other focus was just that make your kids a teeny, like a small piece. You have to talk about your own experience. And that was hard. I know Johanna will say that it was very hard because I saw the biggest experience with Reed, but people don't want to hear about Reed. They want to hear about me. So it was massive. So I don't even say I started flooding my body. I didn't even say Juice Plus. I said, this is how I felt before. And now this is what our life looks like. So it was, you guys, it was like so freeing. I just thought, oh, this is so powerful. So.
Thank you. Yes. So that was great working on our stories in those small groups. So I'm so glad because, you guys, for those of you who are newer, your story is really important. And so you have to know what you're going to say. And if you know what you're going to say, you're going to be so much more likely to say it. Right. So, so if you haven't worked on your story, get with your sponsor and your upline leader to really figure that out. And that can be done over Voxer. It can also be done in a coaching call. So, but reach out to your sponsor and see if you guys can together put that story together. That is something that's powerful, but also simple. Okay, Shannon, you want to go next?
Sure. I would say I've been to a few boot camps. I've been to every conference since I started. But this was the most personal, I feel like, I've experienced with training. Not only did we get some of the top people in the business to do, there were maybe 40 to 50 of us, but we got one-on-one. I got to speak with some people who have skills that will take me years to learn, and they were able to focus on such a small group of us. I'm not trying to give anybody FOMO, but it was pretty epic. I don't think I can get that back. I got what we normally get in a group of 8,000 people, and I got it in a room, at the size of somebody's, like living room and kitchen put together. So, it was, you couldn't really pay enough money for the training we got this weekend. I have 8 pages of notes. And that's not even counting the slides that I took pictures of in my phone that I still have to put down on paper. So some of my biggest takeaways, it was a very emotional weekend. And I felt very bonded to these people that are not on my team, that are sideline buddies, that I made relationships with that I think will last, forever throughout the business. But if I had to give, 2 things that I took away the most, there are so many, so this is hard, but first, it would be yourself, because everyone else is taken. So in this business, you have to be you. You have to always be you and do what works for you, and be willing to constantly grow and educate yourself. The number one thing in this business is personal growth, and you can't stop growing. You have to keep growing personally to grow your business. The other thing I would say, a great skill that I walked away with, is how to really work my social media business as an aspect. And that is kind of how I've gone with my business so far. And eventually, if you don't catch the right skills, you're going to hit a wall. So I learned how to make new friends, how to form, get into new groups. I learned ways to not basically throw up my Juice Plus business all over my Facebook friends and how to stagger and do other things. But I mean, I am exhausted, and I've had so much Dramamine this weekend because I get motion sick. But I will tell you, I would absolutely do it all over again. This was not only a bonding experience with, you know, the team that I'm on in the car, spending 8 hours together, but we also got to do some really cool stuff as a large group of us that we've never gotten to do before. So I don't want to take away from anybody else, so I'll leave it at that. But I would also like to add that I finally am clear on how to hit NMD. That was really broken down for me during this, so I know exactly what I need to do to get there. And it felt really scary and far away before this weekend, and now I know exactly what goals I need to lay out to climb. So I'm super excited. Thanks, Carmen, for all the hard work you guys did for us this weekend. I'm so glad I didn't miss it.
It was an absolute pleasure. And yeah, you know, if you know where you're going, then you're going to be much more likely to get there, right? So, oh, thank you, Shannon. All right, Rhonda, you're next on my screen. Do you want to share?
Sorry, I had to unmute.
Oh, okay. I was going to talk for you, Rhonda, because I was like, oh, I think she's muted. She told me. Sorry, go ahead.
I know. Well, I was going to, but it's working out. I was going to, because the baby's here and my husband, but I'm just going to walk in here while I tell my, what I experienced and got from this weekend. I'm glad I get to go. It was so last minute that they invited me and decided, I decided, yeah, I'll go. It was exciting when I was there. It was emotional, but it gave kind of a spark underneath me. And when I got home, like today, I've already got a trio order, which from somebody that contacted me. I didn't even contact them. I had been contacting other people today, but this was a random that just, I know her, and I'd posted something about the St. Jude's run, and that's how she contacted me. So it was fun. I got a lot out of it.
That's awesome. And Rhonda's literally been in our business for about 2 weeks, and she came this weekend. So she did not have a lot of time to plan. She's got 3 kids, she's got a husband, and she made it work so that she could come along. And we're so glad that you did, Rhonda.
Thanks.
All right, Emily. Emily, I just want to say, well, I'll let you share, but Emily was really fun to watch this weekend.
So I'm unmuting. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. But I guess I'm glad I was watched. That's one of my goals in life. Because it's easy to laugh at myself, I guess. But I had a lot of takeaways from this weekend. It was also really emotional. And let's see. I've many times like I've actually reset my VF goal, but this actually I finally feel that I understand why, like what was keeping me back, or knowing that it was me. Like I have to work on me because I was questioning like different things that would worry me. Like I wasn't doing good customer care because almost I was afraid of not partly the responsibility behind it, but then I'm going to be doing this correctly thing. So I guess I've learned that you really do have to work on yourself as well. And I'm not used to putting myself. I'm used to putting myself out there because I just be spontaneous and I like a good laugh and all that. But when it gets down to like the heart, I feel like such a huge heart, and then I then don't know what to do with that, and then I almost turn off because I just freeze in that sense when it comes to customer care. So I have, like Shannon says, like so many notes to go through, and I already got 2 Omega orders, and I'm so excited. My neighbor, this is a funny story. So my neighbor who was watching my dogs, she messaged me, and I have all my Juice Plus stuff out on my counter just because it's like super easy. She messaged me, hey, I hope it's okay. I ate one of your bars, and they were really good. The box says gluten, and like, where can I buy those? So that's really exciting. So we have time to sit down when I get back. So we'll see if that turns into something. Yeah, I found this, I don't want to call it conference retreat, because when I think of conference, I think of like the 8,000 plus people. So yeah, I did feel it was really a lot more intimate, and it's so easy to open up to Juice Plus people. I mean, there's no better word than family. And it was just, I literally felt like I was meeting famous people, all the NMDs and Joy, and it was just like, I couldn't stop staring. And so yeah, it was a really amazing weekend. And yeah, so I have a lot of takeaways.
Yeah, we had a lot of bravery happen this weekend. A lot of people really stepping way outside of their comfort zone. And just to brag on Emily a little bit, she was in my group for our stories, and she when she was sharing in front of about people, just in a small circle, she was basically terrified. You could tell. She had some tears, and that was the first day. That was beginning. And then the second day that we were there, she got up in front of the room of 60 people, including all of the national marketing directors and famous people that she couldn't stop staring at. And she shared her heart and was so vulnerable and brave in front of that room. And I was so proud of her, because I knew how hard it was for her to speak in front of 8 people. She got up and spoke in front of 60, not just once, but twice. And she volunteered to do it. And so I'm just like, you guys did so many amazing ways this weekend. It was just the most rewarding thing to be able to watch that. So thank you. Okay, Johanna, I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Do you want? I'll go ahead and unmute you because you're driving. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay, great. Again, thank you guys and all you Cherry Bombers for doing this. I wouldn't have missed it after being there. I'm just so glad that I did that and came for you guys. The biggest takeaways I have is, the first one is the story with Christy. She really was a real eye-opener with that. And a lot like Jenny, you know, my story revolves around my kids because they have had bigger results than I have. So, well, more impactful results, I should say. So I don't really have like all these extravagant things that I could say about myself, but I do have a story beyond that, which is the reason why I joined Juice Plus. And that's where she stopped me and got me all teary-eyed and said, that's your story, you know, that's why you're doing this. So that was really big for me. And then we watched David Phillips, and he's told me how to I have a friend that I want to try this, and she won't do it. She tried a sample and she won't do it. And so now I've got a new approach with her, because I think that really might help her by doing the one orchard, then adding a garden, then adding a vineyard, and doing that week by week. So that was really big for me. And then whenever Julie says, accept the chaos, just accept it and embrace it and enjoy it. And that reminded me of Proverbs 14:4. You know, and if you're going to have the oxen in the barn, you're going to have a messy barn. And if you always got a clean barn, then there's probably not going to be any oxen in there, you know. So it was really powerful for me this weekend. I've got my goals set. I plan on hitting my next step before the end of March. So yay, I'm pretty excited. Thank you guys again. Wouldn't have missed it.
That's awesome, Johanna. And you guys, so Julie is the one training that we were able to post, record and post. So that is on our Cherry Bomb Facebook page. So if you're not a part of that, message your upline, your sponsor, and they can add you to that group. But you
know, one more thing that she did though, and it's so simple because it's all in the DMO, but whenever she laid it out, like, you know, these are 6 things that we make sure that we do every day. And as I'm writing them down, I'm thinking, hold on, that's on the DMO, all these things are in the DMO, and there's only 6 things. But whenever you look at the DMO, it looks like this big long list of like 15 things. I don't know, it just looks bigger than the way she explained it. She made it sound a lot simpler.
It is,
so
yeah.
It really helped too. That part helped too.
Good. Okay, so watch that training if you get a chance. I think it's about 30 or 35 minutes. Okay, thank you, Johanna. Susanna, I'll unmute you. I know you're driving too. Okay, you're unmuted, Susanna.
Thank you. So the first thing I want to say is thank you. So I'm still driving, yes. Thank you. It's just, thank you. It was such a phenomenal weekend. And I would say that it was just so phenomenal. But one of my biggest takeaways was that through this experience of putting myself out there and us all putting ourselves out there and actually digging deep and playing the full game instead of holding anything back, I was able to actually really come to a much better understanding of what my why is and why I'm doing this. But it also allowed me to be thankful for who I am and understand more of who I am and that it's okay who I am. And that's huge for me because if you know me, I don't always talk about myself so much, you know, and or even let people in so much. So this was huge, and it's I can see myself being worthy to go on, that it's okay, that this is okay, and that I belong, and that's huge for me because I don't always belong, so that's huge. So I'm not sure that's what you're looking for, but that's what I got.
Wow, that was awesome. And Susanna also was super vulnerable and brave and stood up and shared very personal and really, really incredible story in front of the room, which I was so proud of you too. And I know that wasn't easy for you. And I know that you probably thought, I don't want to do this, but you did it anyways. And so it was awesome. It was awesome to be able
that was the other thing. I was there to play full on, and I'm here to play full on instead of always being there the fly on the wall. I'm playing full on.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's see who's next. Jen.
Okay, so my son's getting ready to swim. Can you skip me and come back to me?
Oh yes, okay. Mo.
Hi, everybody. So there were quite a few things that stood out to me. This is Sydney behind me. She's my future team member. So the story was a really, really huge thing. I wrote my story from Sydney's viewpoint, and I said it was my future team member's viewpoint. And if anybody wants to know what that means, I can explain to you in a PM or whatever, but I'm going to share that with her later. The trainings were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. The one thing that Julie said during her training that stuck out to me was, if I don't put a capsule in this person's body, what could happen? What potentially could happen? And that really stuck out to me because, you know, I have a hard time making those phone calls and stuff like that. And that really spoke to my heart. Like, I could see myself, and I have in the past already, felt really bad about not reaching out to people when something has happened to them health-wise. So that really struck out to me. But Tanya Oxley, oh my God, who else loved her training? Go deep, go wide. You know, if you go wide, the depth is going to come. Don't put all your eggs in just a few baskets. You know, sales coordinator, you only have to have 3 people underneath you, a DD and 2 VFs. But you know what? Why only have a DD and 2 VFs? Why not have, you know, 2 DDs and 3 VFs or more than that? Go wide. Go as wide as you can and have all of that structure underneath you and teach them how to do the same thing so they can teach them to how to do the same thing, and you have a strong base underneath you. And when she explained that, it just, like light bulbs just kept going off in my head. Oh my God, this is how to do it. Like, it's right in front of you. This is how to do it. And in order to, if you don't know how to do something, reach out to your upline like Jenny or Carmen and say, hey, I need you to get on a 3-way call with me with this person. When can we do that and make that happen? and just be really, really duplicatable. We were talking about that in the car on the way home. Jenny was talking with somebody through text message, and it was like, oh, well, share with her, you know, one of Mitra Ray or oh, I can't remember who it is that does the microbiome talk on Healthy Living Revolution, but it was a microbiome issue. And I said, go to Healthy Living Revolution, see if she's open to watching a video and share that with her, because when she becomes a team member, she'll know that she can go to Healthy Living Revolution and get a live video and do that too. It was just, it was absolutely an amazing weekend. My brain, I will talk brain with you guys. My brain was going, no, yes, no, yes. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, that's uncomfortable. Oh, that's fun. Oh, no, that hurts. Like I cried and I sobbed and I had a headache for 2 days just because of all the growth. And Carmen's laughing at me. Because of all the growth that was going on inside of my brain. And you know what? I'm so happy to be home because my brain is like, ooh, comfort. This is the comfortable place to be. But I loved that experience because it really challenged me as a person and it really made me grow. And this was a really, really tough, financially tough trip to go on for me. I had to borrow money from the bank to go on this. And I am so glad I did that. And I told Carmen last night, that I would have paid double. I would have paid double what I paid this weekend to go to this, knowing what I know now. I would have borrowed more money from the bank to go on this trip for everything that I got out of it. So thank you guys for everything that you did. It was so valuable for me, and I feel so blessed to have this weekend.
Oh my gosh. And Mo also shared her heart in front of the room and made us all cry. I want to just say one thing that, based on what you said, is one of the things that we did last night is we all, 55 of us, went to see The Greatest Showman. And if you guys haven't seen that movie yet, you have to see that movie. It is such a metaphor for our business. And when you identify your why, when you know what your why is and you have that goal and you're focused on it, how you can make it happen. But sometimes life comes in and there's distractions that come in and they pull us away and they make our attention go over here. And that's, we don't want to let that happen. We want to stay focused on what the most important things in our life are and what our why is. And when you do that, you can create an incredible life. But one of the things that P.T. Barnum says in that movie is he says, comfort, the enemy of progress. And what you just said, Mo, about, you got home, you were so uncomfortable and your head was like, you had a headache and it was just so much, but then you got home and you were comfortable. You have to continually make yourself uncomfortable. You have to make every effort to make yourself uncomfortable, because that's where the growth happens. And that's how you become more and better and build those skills. And it really is just so true.
And that'll be picking up the phone tomorrow. That'll be going to the church and talking to them about doing some community classes. Like, I've got all these ideas in my head, all these people. We were told to write down names for, contacts that we haven't go through our phone, and contacts that people we've forgotten about, write them down. How many did you get? And I have all those lists, and that's exactly what's going to start happening. So yeah, it's about to get really uncomfortable now.
You know what to do. Yes, we definitely have our marching orders, and we know what to do starting tomorrow morning. Awesome. Okay, Jen, are you in a place that you can share now?
Yes, I'll quickly share with you all. Okay, my biggest takeaways, definitely the faith in the company that I work for. In the back of your brain, you're always wondering, okay, I'm really promoting this great product. I feel good about it. But you never truly know what's going on at the company you work for. So having gone and saw firsthand what I saw blew me away. And I hate that people missed this. So I hope we do it again. We've got to, because it was amazing. So I'm telling you all, and I drove, just so you know, I hate to drive. I drove 7 hours by myself and 7 hours home to do it. So like Mo made a you know, she had to do it. She had to sacrifice something to get there. And I sacrificed something to get there in the sense of my fear of driving that far by myself. And I did it. And that told me how important this business was. And so my biggest takeaway was my faith, that faith in the company, faith in this business that we work for, and then my confidence. All the things that we learned from Dr. Paul Williams, Dr. Dave Phillips, I mean, Julie Herbst, and then you all, the NMDs there, just built that confidence in our product and who we are, and the confidence in answering some of those questions, the tough questions that people give us, where sometimes we would stumble, not know. And now I feel so much more confident. And I went away with the idea that sometimes with doctors, we get nervous. And I was talking to my husband, and I was like, I actually probably know more about nutrition than the doctor. So I should be confident in sharing it, not timid and meek. And so it really left me with that. Those were my kind of big takeaways.
Awesome. And for those of you that don't know, I can't remember if I said it in the beginning or not, we were able to tour both our corporate offices. We met with the top leaders in our corporate offices. We took a selfie with the founder and CEO of our company, Jay Martin. We were so in the right place at the right time. We were the only group that got to see Jay and take a picture with him. So we were very excited about that. And Janet Black and Karen Jones and just all of the regional directors and business partners, they all spent time with us, which is, you know, that's a lot to take time out of their day to really spend time with us. And they were so impressed by our group, and just felt like, you know, Karen Jones wrote on Facebook today that she could tell that there was some serious future 100 Clubbers in our room, which I know is so true. Okay, I think Christy, are you the last person that hasn't shared yet? Is she still on here? She might have had to jump off at 7:33. Okay, well, you guys, I mean, there's so much more that we could share. Obviously, we can't recreate an entire weekend in a 30-minute call.
Carmen, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Real quick, guys. You never know why you go to something like this. You never know what you're going to get out of it. And yesterday, I sat down at a table I didn't know anybody at. And the woman that was sitting next to me actually has breast cancer. And she's been feeling really hopeless. And I found this out from Carmen later on. And I had been talking with her about what she's taking and what she's doing. And I explained what I do for my Crohn's and everything else. And, you know, after that, she was like, oh, well, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get on the capsules. I'm going to get on the complete. I'm going to get I'm going to do my omegas. I'm going to do all of this. And, you know, you never know why you go to something like this and whose life you might impact, even there in the room with you, who's already on Juice Plus and stuff like that. And I just feel so blessed that I was utilized in that way to be able to share with her. And one of the reasons why I do this business is, and this will be my future, this is going to be my team's name, is Team Hope. I hope I gave her hope. I hope I gave her hope for her future, that she can survive this, that she can thrive after this and everything else. And Carmen actually said, you know, she was feeling hopeless before that. So I just wanted to share that. I forgot to share it before.
She was so sweet. So you guys, our next big event is Phoenix, Arizona, our conference, the weekend of April 26th, 27th, and I don't know if those are the right dates. I know April 26th is part of that date, but you guys, do everything that you can to be in Phoenix in April and really get to see our company, get to know, you know, your fellow Juice Plus community, your team, you know, your fellow team members and the greater community. We have such an incredible company. We have such an incredible community, such an incredible culture. But the only way you can truly experience that is by being part of it and joining us at a big event like a conference or a retreat or a boot camp or something like that. And I remember when I first got started in this business, the people who my mentor said, you know, you have to attend anything that's in driving distance, you need to be at. And they actually said a 3-hour radius. And they were actually talking about like smaller events. Like I should go to, you know, Prevention Plus lecture that was 3 hours away. Now we didn't have nearly as many Prevention Plus lectures and doctors coming to town. So now you don't have to drive 3 hours to go hear a doctor speak because we have them on Zoom all the time. But back then that was how important, that was how they really let me know the importance of events. And I took that to heart, and I did do a lot of driving and traveling to events. And I think that's why my belief got built so strong so quickly, is because I really plugged into that. And we don't have to, drive 3 hours. We can tune into the Healthy Living Revolution previous episodes and, watch all of those health professionals teach us about nutrition and whole food and, the microbiome or whatever it is that we're interested in. We have tons and tons of incredible resources that we can plug into, but the live events, you guys, that's where you get to really experience the heart of what we have and the other people who are called to our mission. Part of what makes our company incredible is the people. It's the quality of the people that we have who are attracted to our business and our team. We don't have people in our business. If they come into our business just wanting to make a quick, buck, they don't last in our business. The people who come to our business and last in our business are the ones who truly, truly care about making a difference in other people's lives and other people's health and want to pour in and serve. And that's just, you're never going to find another community of people like we have in the Juice Plus community. So thank you to everyone who made the trip. Thank you to everyone who shared. Go to bed. Go to bed, because I know you're all exhausted. And we'll talk again soon. We'll see you next week. And Amy and Sierra, I'm going to run to the bathroom and then I'll hop back on. I should have stopped the recording, but